In Germany, the corporate tax rate is 29%. In France, it's 33%. In the United States, it's 40%. Here in Britain, we've cut corporation tax from the 28% we inherited to 21% next year. But I want to go further, and today I want us to send a message to anyone who wants to invest here, to create jobs here, that Britain is open for business. So in April 2015, we will reduce the main rate of corporation tax by another 1%. Britain will have a 20% rate of corporation tax, the lowest business tax of any major economy in the world. That's a tax cut for jobs and growth. So I accept Michael Heseltine's excellent idea of a single competitive pot of funding for local enterprise. I also fully endorse the report of Doug Richard to make the most of our apprenticeships. We have the second largest aerospace industry in the world. For the first time in 40 years, we manufacture for export more cars than we import, and our agri-tech business is at the global cutting edge. We're backing international success stories like this with $1.6 billion of long-term funding for the industrial strategy that my right honourable friend, the Business Secretary, launched this week. And today, we build on our new tax reliefs coming in this year for the creative industries like high-end television and animation, with new support for our world-class visual effects sector. To help small firms, we'll increase by fivefold the value of government procurement budgets spent through the Small Business Research Initiative. We will fund the proposal to make growth vouchers available to small firms seeking advice on how to expand. And we're putting new controls on what regulators can charge and giving the pensions regulator a new requirement to have a regard for the growth prospects of employers. We're already supporting the largest programme of investment in our railways since Victorian times and spending more on new roads than in a generation. We're giving Britain the fastest broadband and mobile telephony in Europe. And the Treasury is now writing guarantees to major projects, from supporting the regeneration of the old Battersea Power Station site to building the new power stations of tomorrow. We've switched billions of pounds from current to capital spending since the spending review to mitigate the sharp decline set in train by the last government. But on existing plans, capital spending is still due to fall back in 2015-16, and I don't think, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that is sensible. So by using our extra savings from government departments, we will boost our infrastructure plans by £3 billion a year from 2015-16. That's £15 billion of extra capital spending over the next decade, because by investing in the economic arteries of this country, we will get growth flowing to every part of it. Mr. Deputy Speaker, public investment will now be higher on average as a percentage of our national income under our plans than it was in the whole period of the last Labour government. The new remit explicitly tasks the MPC with setting out clearly the trade-offs it has made in deciding how long it will be before inflation returns to target. To ensure a fuller communication between the Bank and the Treasury, I am changing the timing of the open letter system so that when inflation is above target, the Governor will write to me on the day the minutes of the next MPC meeting are published to allow for a more substantive exchange of views. The new remit also recognises that the Monetary Policy Committee may need to use unconventional monetary instruments to support the economy while keeping inflation stable. And it makes clear that the committee may wish to issue explicit forward guidance, including using intermediate thresholds, in order to influence expectations on the future path of interest rates. For example, that is what the US Federal Reserve has now done, making a commitment to keep interest rates low while unemployment is high, provided inflation is not expected to rise too much. This can help the economy because it gives families planning their futures and businesses wondering whether to invest more confidence that interest rates will stay lower for longer. So I'm asking the Monetary Policy Committee to provide an assessment of how intermediate thresholds might work in Britain and to give that assessment in its August 2013 inflation report.